Hello. Yes, excellent. You can now hear me. Let us pop out the chat so I can easily see what you guys are saying. Hello, Owen. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hello, Mac. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Let's do a little fly around until people arrive. Hello, Pedro. Today we're going to do something a little bit special. Something exciting. I hope you'll find it. I'm going to be touring the Titanic, which is now officially 100% complete, which is a great relief. It's been a long time. It's been far longer than I thought. I thought it was going to be done in a month, but it took a couple of months actually, which isn't really that surprising when you think about it, because it's a project that I essentially rebuilt the entire ship. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to go through the entire ship, tour it, every single nook and cranny I can access, and I might edit this video or this stream later and upload it to YouTube as a video. We'll see. But yeah. Hello, Cookie. Welcome. Capitan. Hello. I'm doing good, Mac. Very good, actually. So yeah, I think it's time we start. There are quite a bit of people here. Oh yeah, I'm still creative. That's why I can't fly fast. Yeah. Let's do what I did with my last tour. I started on the bridge here. So, let's begin. We are on Titanic's bridge here. She of course had two of these bridge wings that they could go out. They overhang the hull slightly, so you could peer out. I can't do it here, but you could peer out and see the side of the ship when you were in docks and harbors and you wanted to see out on the side. So yeah, we are in here in the bridge. These are all the telegraphs that you could communicate with other areas in the ship. Mainly the engine rooms were the most important ones, but you also could talk to the docking bridge and the stern, which we will get to later. Yeah, they had a wheel here for steering the ship, which was mainly used while in harbor and in the docks, while navigating very small spaces, while this wheel in here in the wheelhouse was used while on the open seas. So the quartermaster that steered the ship would actually get some more protection, because of course this was wide open to the elements. So yeah, this is the wheelhouse. This is basically, I guess you could call this the bridge, because it's protected and you have a lot of instruments here, the telephones, which was another way to contact far away areas on the ship. Here we have some cabinets. I believe they stored flags in here. And I believe this is a compass load thing, though I'm not sure. Pilot, yes indeed, in the harbor mainly. I don't know if the pilot would steer the ship while on the open sea. I could be wrong. But yeah, here we have the chart room, where they would plot a course on the seas. I suppose they would calculate where they were in that room exactly as well. Speaking of the pilot, this is where he slept. He had his own little room right adjacent to the bridge. And when we go in here, we get to the navigating room, which I believe served a similar purpose to the chart room. I don't really know exactly the difference between them though. So yeah. Going back here, we get to the captain's room, his sitting room. Because of course, if you were a captain of a ship, you were afforded quite a lot of luxuries, which Captain Edward John Smith indeed was given during his very brief service as Titanic's captain. So this was his room here. Here is his bedroom, and he has a little desk here as well, and his bathroom. So yeah, quite a nice cabin. If we move backwards, we are here in the officers' quarters, and this is where all the officers would sleep. I believe there was a stewardess as well, or steward, and the Marconi room, which we'll get to later. Hello MK, welcome to the stream. We have the 4th officer in here. It's not really numbered in the correct way. Most of the officers are on the other side here actually. Here we have the officers' smoke room, where they would hang out and socialize. There's a pantry here adjacent to it. Moving back, we get to some stewards. A little cabin here that 2 people would sleep in. Pantry here again. Yes, here we have the Marconi room. This is the room where the 2 wireless operators would send messages across the seas to other ships that also had one of these Marconi sets. It's basically the way the ships communicated during these times. Their bedroom is in here, and all the machinery is in here. You can see the MGY. It's Titanic's call sign. Moving to the other side, we have a bathroom, which was used by the officers and the crew in general, I believe. Bathroom, oil skins. If we move back, yes. Here we get to the 6th officer. These were all pretty much the same, I think. Very cramped, but yeah, that's what they got. Here as well is his 5th officer. And here we have the 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and the chief one. So yeah, those all pretty much look the same. Here is the bridge again. So now we have looked over that, let us move forward. We are going to move into 1st class here. Capitan oilskins are those, I believe they were poncho thingies in rain, which they would put on so you wouldn't get wet. I could be wrong though. Yes, this is, oops, is the block there. Never mind that. This is cabin SRTs. It's one of the only 1st class cabins on the boat deck. See, it's on the other side as well. SRX with a little bit of a bathroom type thing. SRY, SRZ, SRU, and SRW. In here we have the elevator gear for the 1st class elevators that ran from A deck down to F deck. No, sorry, E deck. So yeah, a little bit of a machinery space there. Now we get to the good stuff. This is the 1st class grand staircase, which is, it doesn't need an introduction. It's the most famous room on the ship by far. So yeah, we move down the steps here. Very iconic shot. You have a dome that lets a lot of daylight inside with a candelabra in the middle. So yeah, we are on A deck right now, but we're not supposed to be because we're still touring boat deck. So yeah, that's how it looked on boat deck and A deck. If we go outside, you can see we have the large funnels of the ship. Very impressive sight. I imagine it would have been if you were on the ship. See, first class entrance. This is where they boarded, or not boarded, but they got inside. This is the lifeboats. Titanic had 20 lifeboats in all, and 2 of them were stored up on the roof here. They were so-called collapsible lifeboats. So yeah, we're gonna move out over to the other side, and we're going to go into the gymnasium, which was separated by gender. Ladies were 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Children actually had a little bit of time as well in the middle, and then the men had 2 to 6 p.m. So yeah, it's a lot of weird machinery, not machinery, but equipment in here. Almost looks like torture devices, as Titanic Project MC put it, and I fully agree with that. So yeah. Oops. Yeah. Not much else to say about that. Moving back, we get to some kind of raised deck here. I wonder why that is for. You'll see when we get down to A deck. We have a compass platform here, the middle of the ship, where it was, yeah, in the center of it, which was the best place to use compasses, I believe. You have a lot of fans stretched all over the ship, spread out. Captain Doggy, hello. What do you mean exactly about touching people? Did I say that? I don't believe I did. We have some stairs here down to A deck, to the promenade. And in here we have a officer's mess, which is interesting that they would place a mess hall where they ate so far from where they operated, which was over there. But yeah, that was the case. Anyway, this is a pantry. They could bring up food from the galleys down there. This is a food hoist. Yeah, we have some engineer promenade space here actually. So this was actually a small kind of buffer thing for first class and second class, because obviously here was the first class promenade, and then over here we have the second class promenade. Let me just, before we move over there, let's show this space here. We have some hoist machinery in there, and we have some stairs to the galley down there. More fans, and we have essentially the same on this side, except there's some deck chair storage in here. On this side here we have the engineer's smoke room, which was pretty much the same as the officer's smoke room in the bow there, as you saw. We have a tank room, which was where they stored a lot of the water. You can peek inside there and you see the casing for the reciprocating engine room. And on the other side we have another tank room, which is a little bit larger. Had a lot more tanks. So yeah, let's move on to second class. There were more lifeboats here. And we get a dome for the aft grand staircase that first class had. We get another raised deck, which we'll get to what is under this when we get to A deck. We have a little bit of a spiral staircase going down to the galley, first and second class galley. In here we have a deck store for different kinds of stuff. We have a dog kennel here. Some guys in here. On the other side, we also have a bit of stores. We have deck games in here. We have a fan room with a staircase that leads up to the funnel. I actually climbed this. You get a bit of scaffolding inside of here. You can see how it looked on the inside. This might taken it, obviously. I'm not sure if it looked like this 100%. It would probably have had some sort of scaffolding inside. So yeah, we are up on the funnel right now. It's quite a view. But this is specifically the fourth funnel, which as many people point out is a dummy, but it did have some purposes as well. It was mainly a ventilator, and it did actually exhaust smoke from the engines. Another fan room in here. So yeah, that is that. These things were winches. I'm not entirely sure what they winched. I think it was something to do with lifeboats, but I could be wrong. You can see these the glass here, the black stained glass panes. They were funnel falls, which supported the massive weight of the funnels. So yeah, we have the second class entrance here. It's a small deck house. Before we go inside, I'm gonna take you to the top. We get some machinery for the elevator. It's a very cramped space, so not much to see. Go inside. We have, second class elevator. That is on B deck, so we can't enter it, obviously. Some chairs. We move down. Get to A deck. If we move further, we get to B deck. But yeah, we will not go down there yet. We have some other stuff to look at first. So yeah, that concludes the boat deck tour. Now we're going to move on to A deck. Before we do that, however, let's look at some of the flags. We have the American flag raised. This mast here would raise the appropriate flag, which depended on the port Titanic was in at the moment. So when she was in Cherbourg in France, she would raise the French flag, and if she would have reached New York, she would have raised the American flag. So it all depended on which port she was in which country. In the aft mast, or the main mast as they call it, it's the famous White Star Line flag with the white star, which you can't really do at this scale, but yeah, it's raised in the aft mast. Here we have the blue ensign for the British Navy, I think. I believe that the captains that had previously served in the British Navy were allowed to raise this flag, but I could be wrong though. And of course Captain Smith did do that. If we move down one deck, we get to A deck, and before we do that I'm just going to read chat a bit. Can you name the dogs? Sorry, I've already named them. Some names of my own. Maybe use TNT for the red. Oh, I'm not gonna use TNT, it would blow up. I know it looks decent though for detailing. So yeah, let's move on. We have A deck here, as I said. We have the staircase which leads up to boat deck and down to B deck here. This door here leads into the first class promenade deck. You can see a ton of deck chairs here, and some very bright, a very bright area in general, with the windows here. Olympic Titanic sister ship would have been very, very much brighter though, because it would have all been these wide open windows all the way over there. But Titanic, of course, was unique, and they had the forward part of it enclosed. So yeah, we have some rooms here. This is an entrance, which we're going to check out in a bit. Moving aft, we get to a cloak and rug room for passengers that were cold, and another staircase leads up to boat deck. We get another entrance here. I'm not sure if this was only used by the crew or not. Who knows? I certainly don't. This is another first class entrance, which we'll get to. This is the stern section. We get to the veranda cafe. We'll also get to that. We have a locker and one of the big cargo cranes, which were used for the different cargo hatches to load cargo into the bowels of the ship. We get the mast here as well. Here we have a fan room and a window there, which you could actually see in the staircase inside it leads into there. We have another deck games locker. Would you review tour other ships in the Minecraft community? Maybe. Probably not. We'll see. Hello, Chavez. Entrance here on the other side. We have a cloakroom. And oh, it's very dark here. We have a pantry. We'll get to that. Cloak and rug room on the other side. And moving forward, we have a lot of deck chairs here. The deck was propped full of them. So what I'll do is I'll probably no clip inside of here. We can start from the front. So yeah, we get to the first class accommodations forward on A deck, and these were all quite small cabins with a few exceptions, and mainly this one. It was a little bit larger. It was quite simple, quite cozy, but yeah, wasn't that much to speak of. This one is probably the biggest room on this deck. I think even 3 people can be in this one. So it's almost like the B-deck cabins, almost the same size. So yeah, I'm not going to go through every room. They were all pretty much the same. The only real difference was the floors or the carpets. Service room. I believe they flush down waste in this room. I believe, but I'm not sure. And we have a bath in here. 2 baths even. I believe we missed a pantry. Yes. Where they stored small foodstuffs, I think. Kind of stuff. Bathroom, toilets for men. I'm actually gonna add a mirror here. I forgot to do that. There we go. Yeah, same on this side. I'm not going to go through every room, as I said. Will you make a few videos on this, so if people are watching don't have to talk into chat? Yeah, I'll probably do something like that, yeah. Stewardess. Yes, this is the expansion yard. I actually forgot to mention that while we were on boat deck. Titanic had 2 expansion yards, which allowed the ship to flex a bit on wavy oceans. She had one in the bow, and she had one in the stern here, which was basically a thing to give the hull a longer lifespan. Otherwise, it would probably develop a lot of cracks. Get another bathroom. Well, this is a bath and toilet. This was for ladies. Bath. Now we yeah, sorry, I went into the ladies' room. So yeah, we move on to the grand staircase. Before we get to that, we get to the elevators, which also were on B deck. So I'm gonna move down there after we finish A deck. So yeah, we got some chairs and couches, some more cabins in there. Yeah, we have the staircase here. with the very famous Titanic, Honor and Glory clock, Honor and Glory crowning time, which you can't really do that well in this scale, unfortunately, but I did my best. I had a little bit of a notices board here. Clock. I believe this was some kind of switchboard thingy, electrical thing. Yeah, Titanic cracked in half. The expansion years didn't help much, unfortunately. Yeah, this is the corridor with the swerving door, and you can't really do that in Minecraft. Before we move on to that room there, which looks interesting, we get to the reading and writing room, which was a very cozy room. Mainly went for, well, reading and writing. But this was kind of deserted on the ship, unfortunately. Wasn't used much. So it led to them eventually completely taking out this space on the Olympic Titanic sister ship and putting in cabins here instead. Yeah, very pinkish style here. Some lamps. So yeah. Hello, Donita. Now we get to one of my favorite rooms on the ship. This is the lounge, first class lounge, which was a very big room. It has a very high roof, high ceiling, because of the raised deck here on the boat deck, so it allowed the room to be much more spacious. A lot of chairs and couches and areas to generally just relax, play cards, do stuff. This is also mainly the reason why the reading and writing room was so deserted, because this room was obviously the room to go to, so everyone went in here instead. They even had a bookcase here where you could grab a book and read a bit. Had a fireplace, electric window, so couldn't catch fire, and it had a mirror as well. It also had large windows that went up from the boat deck that allowed a lot of light to pass through, so it was very bright. So we're gonna move back. When ladies were allowed in the smoke room, it's just that it was kind of against the social norms of the time. Pretty much everyone was allowed everywhere on the ship. Well, not first class weren't allowed in second class and so on, but you know what I mean. We have the pantry here, which was for the lounge as well as the smoking room, I believe. Had some stuff, as some wine storage as well. You need that. Can't forget that. We get a door out to the promenade here again. Staircase goes up the boat deck and down to E deck, I believe, all the way down there. So it was quite a lot of stairs. Moving aft, in this corridor here as well, we get to the aft grand staircase that first class used. It is pretty much the same as the first class, not first class, the forward one, but it was much smaller, and it didn't have quite as impressive clock. Here we have two cabins. This was Thomas Andrews' cabin, the designer of the ship. And here I had a private bathroom. On the other side, we get another one, which was the cabin of Father Brown, which was a photographer and a priest, and he is one of the few people that survived the sinking and managed to snag a lot of photos of the ship. This cabin is owned by a Will from my Discord server. Sure, randomizer. Yes, we are here. Let's move into the smoking room. This is mainly where the men retreated. Before we do that, let's go into the bathroom here. Very small thing. It was a very awkward room. It was very very high in ceiling. Here we get a little bit of a corridor here. This was mainly to let light from Botec down into the smoking room. They had a lot of clever ways to brighten up the rooms. Dolgorn, hello duck. Yes, this is also one of my favorite rooms on the ship. I think it looks very nice. Very regal in style. The gold detailing, which I tried to replicate with the buttons. It has the, correct me if I'm wrong, but it has the only working fireplace on the ship. And this smoke actually went up into the fourth funnel. So it technically did ventilate smoke. You see this pipe here? This was where how it went up there. So yeah, fun fact. Door would not have been that dark. What do you mean? And get a little bit of a cigarette case here. There are some tiles that exist in the smoking room. Not this dark? Alright, I guess I'll change it then. After the stream. I'll actually add it in my notes there. One moment. Are you sure though? Should I change it to concrete maybe? This is already blue concrete. If we move back, we get to the Veranda Cafe. Or Palm Court. I believe they were named both of them. I don't really know why they had two names, but yeah, that's how it was. It was an identical one on the other side. Change lobbies maybe. And this was where you enter the pantry here, because I had like 50 doors in the same space. See a little pantry here with a wine room, I think. Wine locker. So yeah, that concludes A deck. Now I'll do a little bit of a fly around, because randomizer wanted one. As you may notice, I have detailed the hull a bit with the frames. It's not really that accurate. I tried to make it roughly right, but I haven't added in like the details with the riveting and stuff. I didn't do that because I think it would lag much more. This is already a very laggy map, so yeah. I still did get a lot of it done. Yeah. Hello, John Peer. What happened to 3-1 scale? I paused it, but I will continue soon. I can actually show the propellers. Should we do give Rilhon night vision? True. You see them a lot better now. These are new ones that I built on a stream. You can also see the detailing here on the draft section, or the draught section, depending on how you want to say it. So yeah. I currently finished Not currently. I finished A deck and boat deck. Now we're going to move down to B deck. Maybe one, we'll see. You can actually go inside here. We get the builder's plaque here. Holland and Wolf, shipbuilding and engineering. Queen's Island, Belfast. I believe all of the ships they built had one of these plaques in the bow. I'll be right back, actually. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue. We are on B deck right now in the forward accommodations. And I believe this is all very, very similar to A deck's cabins. Not much has changed. This is owned by Tornado Harry. And I believe, yes, this one is owned by MC Olympic or Randomizer, which is in the chat right now. One of the most cramped rooms on the entire ship. Another bathroom, also the same. More cabins here, B16, B14. These ones were unique in that they had a corridor so you could get light into the cabin and ventilation. They kind of had this pattern going on. And this is all the same. Again, I'm not going to go through it. I'm going to skip over these sections, I think. B50. Bath. Ladies' bathroom. Another one of the expansion units. I always forget what they're called. Let's move on to the grand staircase again. We have the elevators here. This is pretty much how they looked on the inside. More cabins. Yeah, this is the B-deck landing, and this was one of the entrances where passengers would board the ship. And the ship had one of these on either side. And now we get to the interesting stuff. I guess we'll start on this side. We have the B-deck luxury suites. And these are probably the fanciest rooms on the Titanic. Yes, I was going to fix this. Okay, this is the B51 sing room, which was decorated in either Empire or Adam style, or Georgian, I can't remember. Knowing styles is not my specialty. But this was one of the polar suites, and what this was unique to have was that it had one of these private promenades. So yeah, it would have been a very expensive suite to have Adam style, yes. Moving back here, we get to B53. I think this is French style or something. They have a walk-in closet and they have a private bathroom. Bath in here and a toilet in here. And here we have another bedroom. I'm not going to even mention the styles because I'm so bad at knowing them. But these 3 rooms are owned by Oceanic Project MC. Moving back, I'm not going to go through all of them, but you'll have to explore that yourself on the map when I release it. I believe I will do that tomorrow. This is my room, or I actually have 3 rooms. This is the styles I know. This is the modern Dutch style, and it was very red. This was also had a private bathroom here. Yes, I also had a walk-in closet. Next room. Wait, which rooms were these, by the way? This is B59, so this would have been B57 and B63, yes. And this room was in Old Dutch, so it would have been darker. And moving back, we get to another one of the Modern Dutch, I think. So yeah, these are my frame rooms on the ship that I reserved. This is B65. Yeah, I'm not going to show more. Pretty much the same, except they look a little bit different. They're pretty much the same, but they look different. Yeah, that's something. I guess I could show you a couple. I'm gonna show you the other parlor suite, actually. It looked a little bit different. This is owned by Dooku200, which is another Minecraft YouTuber. Which is... I wonder what this style was. Maybe someone in the chat can tell me. Hello, Diane. This suite also had one of these. Private promenades. Here we have an Empire style cabin. It was very gilded. A private bathroom. And this is a French style room, I think. Look the same on the other side. But yeah. In the middle we have some baths, bathrooms. We have some of these smaller cabins here as well in the middle. And a lot of lockers in here. We also have a staircase, the same staircase that lead up to A deck, this pantry, and down to the galley sections. Some more lockers, and when we move back we get to the aft grand staircase, which was, like I said, not as nice as the one in the front, but it was still nice. Yes, this is the B-deck reception room, which was unique to Titanic. Olympic pretty much had walls here, and they had a small little corridor that went into this room, which is the a la carte restaurant, which was basically an alternative to dining in the main dining room down on D-deck. So yeah, very nice room. I think I did this pretty well. It was much larger on Titanic than on Olympic. It extended out to the side here. And then if we move in here, we get to the pantry and kitchens, which was where they cooked and prepared the food for the passengers. We have a pastry shop. We have a chef's office, butcher shop, fish storage, a lot of kitchen equipment. We have a grill here, I think, and we have a larder here. We have an emergency stairs here as well. These are the ones I showed you up on boat deck. That's that. Let's move over here. We have an office here. I believe this was where people paid for the food. I'm not sure though. I think it could have been in the what is it called? The passenger reception office on C deck instead. Wine room, and finally a fruits and flowers room. Yeah, I did put those in Chavez. Here we have the Café Parisian, which kind of emulated a Parisian cafe. It also had a lot of greenery. I don't think it was real though. It was in foam. It was kind of fake, but still. pretty nice. We are done with first class. We move on to second class, which we can't, so I'm going to go into spectator. We have the second class entrance here. Go inside here. This is the staircase I went down a bit before from boat deck. We have the elevator in here, which is extremely cramped. You can't really do anything inside of it. Yes, smoking room. This is a second class smoking room. In many ways it was similar to the first class smoking room. Or, well, not really. But I think it had the same cozy vibe. It has a very interesting floor, which I really do like. I think many people hate it. It's very unique. But yeah, this is where the men mainly were. We have a bathroom here as well. And on the other side we have a bar. And this wasn't like a bar where you went and grabbed drinks. No, this is where the drinks were stored and they were instead brought out to you if you asked, I think. Smoking room. Then we move back. We get to the aft staircase for second class. They actually had two. And yeah, it only went up to B deck. And we have the mast here actually. It actually went down all the way down to C deck, which we're going to get to in a bit. No, I'm not going to do shoutouts. Yes, let's move on to C deck, which we're going to get to in a bit. That is B deck done. And of course I missed a bit, which was the hoop deck here on the forecastle, but we're going to do that on C deck, which we're going to get to right now. Yeah, this is the forecastle deck, or it's spelled out forecastle, but you pronounce it forecastle. And this is where a lot of the docking machinery and equipment was located. You can see an auxiliary anchor here, which could be connected to this space here, I think, in case these two failed on this side. They would use this crane here and load it over the side and attach it. Yeah, these are the anchor chain machinery, and it went down to these ones here. These are ventilators, these small anvil thingies. Down to the deck below we have a waterway that collected all the water. We have another auxiliary anchor here, actually. And we have some steam winches. Some ventilators and even a skylight. We can actually show the crow's nest here. This is where the lookouts would sit and check if there was any dangers incoming, which of course there were on the Titanic. And yeah, let's move down one step. This is actually C deck. This is the well deck, the forward well deck, and this is where the forward cargo hatches were located. It was another one here actually. And yeah, these were the two biggest cargo holes on the ship. It's where these two leads to. So yeah, also had two more cranes here in the bow that loaded cargo into those. And there was even another crane here which did the same, but for this one. Yeah, this could be used the same way. We move on to C deck. We get to the first room here. This is the lamps rooms. Place where they would replace the oil in their oil lamps in this tank here. We have an entrance for third class actually, which we'll get to in a bit. Same on the other side. We get to some crew quarters here, and yeah, we have a hospital. The same on the other side. We have a galley store and a stair. staircase that goes down to D deck, but we also can access the crow's nest through this ladder there. Here we have a galley, which was where the food was prepared for the crew. We have another staircase to D deck and a fan room. We have a carpenter's shop and a seaman's mess. So there are a lot of mess rooms in the bow. A carpenter's store. Are all rooms full, or there are a lot of rooms that you can get. But before we move on there, let's go back here. We have another hospital. We have a surgery dispensary. Maybe this is where they store the medicine and stuff. We have a fireman's mess in here. And another staircase. And finally we have a greaser's mess in here. Go inside of here. We get to the anchor equipment and that kind of stuff. We have a lamp trimmer and storekeeper. I slept in here. Very weird room. And same on this side. Deckman. Actually have another room in here that was separated by this bulkhead. This was a winch, I think, of some kind. But yeah, there's not much to see in here. Yes, you can have one if you want. Yes, that is C deck. Let's move on to the first class accommodations forward. And we get the same general thing as A deck and B deck. A lot of smaller cabins, tightly packed together. Not much to see here. There were some different things here, mainly when we go aft and when we go here. No, sorry, here. We have a pantry. We have a service closet and we have a telephone switch. I believe this is where they made sure all the telephones connected to the proper place. And yeah, cabins are pretty much the same on C deck. And we have the elevators here again. And a grand staircase. On this side we have the enquiry office, a hard thing to say. The purchase office in here. They had a safe where they stored valuables on this side as well. And yeah, this is basically where they had all the keys, I think, and stuff. This is basically where you went if you had a question or anything and you wanted it answered. You could check with the purser, see if he knew. Okay. Yes, Packard Films, hello, it is finished. Bye, Capitan. No, Owen, I can't. There are a lot of them, I can't do it. You'll have to look through it yourself. Hello, Ernest Magin. Yes, let's move back. We got to even more of these very luxurious suites. This is the room that Chavez owns. I believe he is in the chat. This is a Georgian style room, I think. Also very royal, very regal, gilded. This didn't have one of those private promenades though. Here we have an Adam suite, I think, which is connected to that one. I believe, yeah, they had a private bathroom as well. Yeah, I made those banners myself. My eye is itchy. Okay. So yeah, this is pretty much the same story as B deck. A lot of different kinds of rooms. different styles. You'll have to check them out yourself when you download the ship. At the end of the stream, Donator, you can tell me if you want one. I'm not going to do that right now, though. I can't tell you about the measurements right now. I'll do that later. Yes, here we have a maids and valets saloon, which was where all the servants for the first class passengers ate on the ship. And there was also a smaller dining room here for the post officers and the macaroni officers. So that's where they sat and ate. You get an entrance to the pantry here as well. The same one with the staircase. Yes, we have the aft-ground staircase here again. We can move to this side. We get to the barber shop. Was pretty straightforward. Where you cut your hair and trimmed your beard even, I think they could do. Yes, we have some more rooms here. We have some linen storage. This was clean linen and this is soiled. This is another door that leads into that spiral staircase again. You quickly find out on Titanic that a lot of the areas on the ship were connected through staircases and stuff. Yeah, you can also see they had a lot of these inside cabins like this. Hello, Phoenix. Yes, here we have. Before we do that, we am going to show you another one of the bathrooms. It's pretty much the same as well. We have assistant doctor, restaurant manager, and chief steward. That is a chief steward in here. We have the restaurant manager. And we have the assistant doctor. And here we have simply a doctor. Assume the main doctor on the ship. He had a fairly large room as well. So yeah, we are now in second class. Before we move aft, we have a hospital to check out first. So yeah, I'm here. This was mainly for third class. And down there as well, which we're going to get to. Because of course the first and second class passengers were actually treated in their cabins, so they didn't really go to the hospital when they were sick. So yeah, this is the second class entrance. Gordon Ramsay would stay there, yeah. Yes. The forward staircase in here. And we get to the library. And that second class had. This was pretty much their lounge. It was called the library, but it was the same as the first class lounge. They also had a bookcase here in the middle. So yeah, it's a little bit larger even. And yeah, had a lot of these reading tables, or not reading, but yeah, writing tables. We have the aft staircase here with the mast as well, and there's even a piano. Oops, let me just turn off Discord. There we go. That was not your Discord, that was mine. Yes. Second class. Second class, of course, had these enclosed promenades here on either side. And if you moved out here, we get to third class. And yeah, they had the aft well deck to themselves. Thank you, Creepypasta. Welcome to the stream. There were more of these hatches here where they had stored cargo. I can actually go to the poop deck first and check it out. We have 6 cranes in the stern even, so there's a lot of cranes. 2 on this deck here. A lot of benches and stuff. This is where the docking bridge was located, which is something I mentioned earlier. This is where they would navigate the ship when they were in the docks and in the port. At least they would assist the main bridge. So they had a another wheel back here. Yes, you can see the veranda calf real quick here. This is it. One of them at least. Tar ni svenska? Vad roligt. Yeah, this is in many respects very similar to the forecastle deck. Had even an auxiliary anchor here. And this is where the flag was, the stern flag. And the 2 skylights that go down into the gear. We can actually go down into right now through this staircase. We have the gear for the steering for the rudder. Yeah, this was how that worked. You can see it's this thing here goes all the way down into the rudder so it could move. We have a deck store on this side. And on the other side we have a deck engineer and assistant engineer. If we move forward, we get to we have a not hoist, but emergency ladder. And we also get the 3rd class general room, which was kind of the lounge. And they even had a piano, and this is where they socialized and hang out. Oops, that's weird. Fixed. Yes, this is the main entrance for 3rd class, at least in the stern. Staircase that led down. I need to change these windows. They're supposed to be white stained glass. There we go. Smoking room. This is for the men, basically. Was much darker in paneling. And they had a bar here. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Yes, before we continue to D-deck, I'm actually going to take a short break and bring some water. I was stupid enough this time to not bring any water. So I'll be back in less than a minute to fetch some water. Water is indeed good, but not in Titanic's case. In Titanic's case, too much water means sinking. So yeah, with those words, welcome back. We are here on D deck, and this is one of the many stores that was in the bow, and they all pretty much look the same. Down to G deck, I think this is, and there we have a tank underneath. Yes, D deck. Let's move back here. So we get some interesting rooms. We have the... I don't know this... this is the fireman. Yeah, one of the fireman's quarters. We have a bathroom in here. And yeah, we have some spiral staircases that go down all the way down to the boiler rooms. On the other side we have even more firemen. And we have some bathrooms, or not bathrooms, but showers actually. So here. It's called a wash place actually. I need to say it correctly. Yes, D-deck. Let us move on. We have a hatch here actually even. So, fun fact. I'm gonna read what you said in chat. Thank you, Dunida. A question for the folks who like the stairs leading up to them. Are they supposed to have a block missing? Let me just... they are not supposed to have a block missing. Thank you for pointing that out. There are a lot of things that still need to be fixed in the ship. It's not perfect and probably never will be. So yeah, we are in the third class section here. We are in the open space, and yeah, this is a very large room. It's very interesting that third class got this. Yeah, this is another space where they could socialize and play music and stuff. They had a bar here. Some fans. We have the two big hatches here. A lot of staircases leading in and out of the room. They had an illuminated panel here of the Titanic and Olympic. It was basically some info about the ships and the White Star Line. We have a fan room in here. And a crew-only room. Ooh, could this be? What is this? Did I forget to do this entirely? Oh. How did this happen? Oh yeah, we need to expand this. Yeah, I'm gonna write in my notes. Pretend you didn't see that. Fix forward through staircase. D deck to E deck. Yeah, this is the issue when you build each deck at a time, so you don't really see how it stacks up together. Here we have a locker. And yeah, we have some stairs up to C deck, to the well deck. Moving forward, we get to the first class areas, which is a very odd. There's only a wall separating them, but you can't really go between them either, so I guess that makes sense. D deck rooms, the same as well as C, B, and A deck. The only real difference is that they had one of these stairs here that went down to G deck even, but we're gonna get to that later. I'm going to completely ignore these rooms because they're not interesting. They're the same as the ones above. Yes, here we get to the very interesting stuff. We have the boarding entrances on D deck here, and one on each side. This is where the passengers would board, and it would lead into the reception room. We have the elevators here. and the grand staircase. And this very large space here where people could just sit, hang out, relax, drink some tea. This was basically before dinner or even after. They would be in here. And they have a piano and where the band would play some music. So yeah. Right, Phoenix, bye. I'll see you later. That's a very intricate roof or ceiling, which I took quite a lot of time. Now we move on to the biggest room on the Titanic. This is the dining room, the first class dining room, which was, yeah, very big. Wish there'd been 2 floors, but here we are. Good seat. I don't know the exact number, but I believe it was like 500 people, 400 maybe. They had a lot of large tables like this one in the middle here. This is the captain's table where he would sit and eat when he was attending dinner. So yeah, it was very unique in that it had these alcoves, 3 on each side. So one there, one here, and one here. They also had a piano here and yeah, these tables thingies here. I think they just stacked the food on top there for convenience. Now we move on to the galley sections and the pantries for first and second class. So yeah, we'll just do this step by step. Bar in here. They stored wine, I think, or champagne or whatever it was. This is the pantry section, which was where they prepared the food and before they finally took it out to the passengers. So yeah, this is one of these so-called bain-maries thingies, which was basically if you go to school and you go into the school dining room, you have these when you go to grab the food, you have these kind of water container thingies with hot water, and they would put the food inside there so it would stay warm. It was basically the thing they did with this here as well. Yeah, this stored some bread in here. And you can go to other side. This was the water boilers. And yeah, it's pretty much the same here. We have a staircase that leads down to E deck on each side. We have the pantry staircase that leads down all the way up to boat deck. We have chief steward's office in here. And we have a second steward's office. Bye, Chavez. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I already finished the Titanic, Emiliano. Yes, salads. We have some silver storage, knives, and a scullery. On the other side, we have some china, we have some oysters, we have some code locker, and some glass. A lot of glass, let's say that. Here we get to the main galley where they cooked the food actually. We have a larder and a coal bunker, which was what they used to power the grills and stuff. This is where they stored the bread and stuff, I think. No, not here, but yeah. So that's on the other side. Yeah, it was the same case here with the what I described before. We have a chef's office in here. And even a hoist here. Leads all the way down. I'm gonna add a chain here. Forgot to do that. Galley, coal bunker. Basically the same as the other side. This is where the staircase leads to, all the way down, all the way from boat deck. Let me just fix the flooring here. Terracotta, please. There we go. Then move back. We get to some more storage rooms. Silver in here. Glass. China. This was mainly for second class in here. Knives. And the pantry for second class. This was basically the same as first class, but it was much smaller. We have here is where they store the bread. Let's get this bread. This is where this is basically the bakery on the ship. The bakery area. Going back, we have a butcher shop. I assume they prepared a lot of the meat in there. And we have a printing room. They printed the Titanic's newspaper. They printed menus for the diners. Here we have a hoist. It goes down. Need to add a chain. It leads down into the potato storage, I think, and even all of the other food storage down on G deck and Orlop deck. The machinery for this elevator is there. And yes, now we get to the... I think this is the second largest room on the ship. Could be wrong though. We have the second class dining room, which is also pretty nice, I think. Very large, had a piano, could seat around 400 passengers, I think. Had some lockers here for storage. Before we move on, we're gonna go down into another space I missed. The hospital, which, as you remember, had a staircase that led down. This is where they put all the people that were sick, and mainly the infectious people were stored in here, in these infectious rooms. I had a bathroom here. Yeah, this was locked, I think, so they couldn't get out. To prevent an infection spreading across the ship. This is the paddle room, which was used mostly for criminals, I think, which they caught. They put them in there. We have a hospital attendant in here, and we have one of the hospital wards where the sick will sleep. And the same goes for these rooms, they're all the same. Got another bathroom here, and another hospital room. Yeah, that is the hospital. This was, like I said, also mainly used for third class, so not first and second. I don't know what an improvement is. Yes, this is the forward staircase that second class had, and it led into the dining saloon here. My mic arm is acting up again. Sorry. Please just sit still. Thank you. Yes. Not quite as fancy as first class, but it still looks pretty good, I think. We have some more cabins in here. We can actually show one of these here. This is Cookie's cabin. I think he is still in the shot. My favorite improvement that you made. First class reception room. Definitely. Yeah, these are more cabins here. Not much to speak of. Bathroom in here. Let's move on to third class. back here. Actually, this did connect. It was one of these emergency doors here. Sorry. We have a surgery in here. Which, well, it does look like there's a little bit of blood on the floor, but contrary to popular belief, this actually wasn't used to operate on people. A surgery is actually, or was actually, just a hospital. It was just named surgery for some reason. Yes, this is the staircase again for third class, which I showed you before. They had some bathrooms in here on either side, and they even had some cabins here, which is pretty much the most basic you can get on the entire ship. This is the probably the largest one and probably the most weird one, because you can go up here. This is of course in the stern, so you were bound to get some of these weird cabins here. What PC am I using? You can see the specs on my YouTube about section, so you can go into my channel and check that out. So yeah, we have completed D deck. Time to move down to E deck. Let me just drink a bit first. Okay, let's move on. This is E deck, yes. We have another one of these stores here. And in here we have trimmers, yes. All of these free rooms here were for trimmers. Another one here. Now, I'm not really sure what they did, so don't ask, but yeah. Wash place, showers. Have a bathroom in here. Yeah, these we have these spiral staircases again. Moving aft, we get to this place here, which was some third class cabins, some additional ones in the bow. They were very basic. They have a bathroom here. You can see the hatch here. Another bathroom. Staircases here that lead up to the what's it called? The open space. Yeah, this is the E-deck entrance for third class passengers, the forward one. So yeah, they would board on each side here. Not much. There's so many things I need to change. I'm sorry about this, by the way. Sometimes things happen sometimes. We have some more cabins in here. Show this one. Not much to speak of. We have a staircase down to F deck with even more third class cabins. But then we get here. This is Scotland Road, which was the main staircase that the crew used on the ship. Connected the bow and the stern, and it had pretty much the bulk of every cabin that for the crew on the ship. And it also had staircases that led down to the boiler rooms, which we'll get to later. So yeah, these are pretty much all the same. We have some bathrooms. We have some bathrooms. But yeah, most of all we have these large open berths here where they slept. Again, not much to speak of. You'll find that on Titanic, the further down you get in the ship, the less there is to speak of. All the rooms, they all kind of melt together. They're pretty much the same. In here, we get to first class. I think we're going to finish the Scotland Road first before we move on to that. We have a staircase here down to F deck. I believe this is where the engineers were. No, sorry, the cooks. Yeah, we have a staircase here down to the third class dining saloon on each side. Yeah, let's move all the way down here. We have an emergency door leading into here. Can get into the galley section again. But we also have some rooms here. We have the engineer stewards. We also have restaurant musicians. And you have a locker here with their instruments. Moving aft, we have a watertight door here actually. It's kind of weird that they didn't have a single watertight door on Scotland Road. They actually added one on Olympic later in her career as a response to Titanic sinking. But yeah, it's pretty much all the same here except for the engineer's mess, which is a little bit of a larger room where they sat and ate and hang out. Another staircase down there. We have a crew boarding entrance here actually, and the engineer's office. We have a crew staircase. Yes, crew staircase. There is one here that leads down into the reciprocating engine room. We were going to get to that later. More crew rooms here, crew cabins. We have the third class entrance here, the aft entrance. This is where they boarded. We have a potato peeling room and a potato storage room in here. You can see it's full of potatoes, so that's good to have. Very good to have. This staircase led up to the galley again, the kitchens, and it leads down into the food storage. Moving back, we're gonna get to that room later. We have more third class rooms. Again, extremely basic, as all third class rooms were. Staircase down there. You can see the hatches here. And we have the staircase here again. Right here. We have a third class steward. Not much to speak of. Yes, a matron. Don't know what that guy did though. Yeah. Cabins upon cabins upon cabins. Yes. That's pretty much it. Let's move back then and get to second class. This is the forward staircase that second class had. They had one of these illuminated displays here. And this is their main entrance on E deck here. We have more cabins here. If we move back, we get to the aft staircase and the purser's office that second class had. And the purser even slept in here. He had his own cabin. So yeah, these cabins are much the same. So I'm not going to go through them. Moving back, we have a chief second class steward. And he had his little office here. Yes, here we have the barbershop, second class barbershop. They actually had one, which was pretty new, I think. I don't think many ships had this. So yeah, this is a bathroom, some lockers, another emergency door here. We have a staircase here that leads down to F deck. This is basically more second class cabins. In here we have more cabins, cabins upon cabins. However, if we move back here, we get to some alternate cabins. So, depending on how many people were in either class, if we had a lot of second class passengers, they could just have these rooms be for second class. But if it was the other way around, that they had a lot of first class passengers that booked room on the ship, they just made this space first class instead. So that's pretty much how this space worked. All the way over here to this door. And this is just only first class. Yeah, the rooms here were quite nice. They were to the same standard as first class was. So yeah, we have a little bit of a bath and bathroom situation here. If we move back or forward, I guess, we have more cabins and we get to the staircase. We have the key locker here, which was Cookie's second room on the ship, actually. Yes, staircase. It's not quite as grand anymore. It's just a simple staircase now. Back here we have the elevators. This is the final floor they were on. And we have more cabins in here. Goes all the way over here. We have the small staircase here. Leads down into the squash court. We have some of the biggest rooms on this deck here. E201 to E204, right? No, 3. Yes. No, E200 to E203. Yes, that's it. So they were quite large. And here we have the door that leads into this room again. We actually missed this room. This is the Masters at Arms. So that's where they slept. That concludes our F deck tour. Not F deck, E deck tour. Now we're gonna move on to F deck. So this is here. We have another store room here. Here we can actually see the key locker. Not key locker. Chain locker, sorry. Which is where the chains went. This was where all of it was stored in this large room. Leads down. It's a very large room. Yeah. Let's move on. We have... Where is this? Firemen. Yes, this is where they slept. The other side. We have lead greasers. A little bit of a smaller room. Bathroom in here. Spiral staircases. Washroom. Moving back. We get to some first class areas. I'm just going to skip over this entirely. It's not much to say. You can see the bunker hatches here. Staircase here that led down the deck above. Let's fix that. There we go. A watertight door here. Yeah. A lot of third class cabins here. Let's show you one here. Looks like this. I'll need 2 doors. Why are there 2 doors? That's weird. Is that the same on the other side as well? No. Nice. So yes. Oh yeah, this is the fan room. Which provided ventilation for the boiler rooms below. Yes, now we get to some more good stuff. We get to the first class sections. So we have the staircase here. It's down here. We get to the swimming pool in here. First class, obviously. 2 showers and a lot of changing rooms. All look the same. Oh yeah, you could jump in here and swim a bit if you wanted. And you also have the Turkish baths in here, which is basically a spa kind of thingy. And we have an electric bathroom. Basically a solarium. Here we have a washing room. No, shampooing room. And here as well. And then we have the temperate room, I think. So basically you would go to the least warm room first, and then you would gradually go up in temperature, I think, and then you would finally jump into the bath, I think. And we have the hot room in here. Temperate room, as I said. I think this is also that, maybe. I don't know, linen closet, I think. Linen drying room. We have another fan room. This is where they cleaned the linen, or where they stored it. This is where they dried it, I think, as well. The staircase leads up to Scotland Road. And I'll go back here. We have some more crew cabins, the locker. We have female Turkish bath attendants, assistant second class steward, clothes pressing room, baggage master, and SRC professor. I don't know what that stands for, actually. Yeah, he had a window. We have second class stewards and Turkish bath attendants in here. I don't know what this is. If we move back even more, we have a fan room here. And we have the third class dining room, which you saw before with these staircases here that led down. We have a fan room here. And the fun fact about this room is that it was divided in two, and the forward section was for the women and children and the families, and the stern section was for the men, the single men, or the other way around. The point is that they were separated. Another fan room. We're gonna move on to the third class galley section. So yeah, this is pretty much like the first and second class galley, but smaller. So not much to say. Grill room stuff. Other side we have another one of these, another pantry. We have some bakers that sleep in here. And in here. And we have third class stewards that sleep in here. The other side, I'm gonna finish by looking here. We have a bakery. And we have potato washing. And I think this is a butcher shop, and we have a meat storage room. So that's that. The staircase here actually leads up to Scotland Road as well. Just so you know. Moving aft, we get to some engineer cabins here. So yeah, this is junior third engineer, and these rooms pretty much all look the same as well, so I'm not gonna go through all of them. This actually led right into the reciprocating engine room, which we'll get to later, like I said. So yeah, they had not far to go to their workspace. And it is pretty much the same on the other side as well. They have even more engineer cabins. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Brandon. We have second class cabins in here. A little bit larger maybe. Yeah, we have a lot of lockers. Yes, this led into the aft staircase. Forward one, sorry. We have a locker there. A lot of the same again. The same type of cabins. The other side we can actually get to the aft staircase here. Lockers. If we move into here, we get some additional third class rooms and the staircase here again. There we go. Yes, not much to say. If you look up Race the Titanic, you will see what I mean. It's actually free on YouTube right now. If you watch the film, you can see it. Oh, you mean the different... Yeah. I know what you mean now. Like, they had some pillars on the bow, I think. Or ventilators. Kind of like how Okutani had. So, yeah. We have finished G deck. Let's move on to... I said it wrong again. We have finished F deck. And we're going to move down to G deck. Oh yeah, I had a very different interior as well. Another store in the bow, and the chain locker as well. And we also have some more of these crew cabins. This is the fireman and the greasers. We have a wash place, and we have a wash place. Was it the same? Yeah, interesting. These spiral staircases again. We have some more third class cabins here. They are very uninteresting, so I'm going to skip over them. We have a first class baggage in here. The passengers' baggage mainly. This is a hatch where that was loaded into the ship. Oh, that's cool, Brandon. Nice. Yeah, I might look into it, see what I can do. Yeah, this is the baggage, as I said. We have the post office in here. Where a lot of the mail was sorted and organized. When we get to Orlop deck, we will continue look at what's down there. Yes, I completely forgot about the squash court. But it is on the G deck, so yeah, it's appropriate. Yeah, this is where they played squash. The first class passengers. Very boring room, honestly. But yeah, can actually go down. So yeah, G deck, very interesting because it's interrupted by these massive boiler rooms. So there isn't really much to G deck in the middle of the ship. But if we move aft, we get to something here. These places I will actually leave for now. And we get to the food storage. Oops, there we go. So yeah, this is where all the food on the ship was stored. We can start here with the flower room. ice cream. A staircase here that led from the potato room down into here. Ice cream making machines. Ice room. These doors here lead into some more storage, meat and poultry. I believe this was mainly for the restaurant. Fish, bacon and ham, vegetables. Hello Simply Wolf, I'm gonna end probably not soon. Vegetables, we have fruit, we have milk and butter. Oh no. Yeah, this was messed up. I think I accidentally copied to the other side. I'm just gonna quickly fix this. This happens sometimes when you use World Edit and you forgot to properly check on everything so that it's alright. Let me just quickly bring up the deck plans to make sure this is correct. We are on G deck right now. So this would be the ice room, I think. No, that's the ice room. Oh, that's two the same. We already had that. Okay. And here we have groceries. There we go. There we go. No harm done. Except for this desk here. It got messed up. So yeah. Moving back, we have eggs. We have fruits and flowers again. We have milk and butter. We have fruit. We have bacon, ham and cheese. We have the two hatches here that led down into these rooms from B deck, I think. We have vegetables. Another one of the hatches. We have the farm room. We have the mudon. We have the fish. And we have the poultry and game. So that's so Poultry Man is in here to terrorize us. That is the G deck for the food storage. Let's move forward. We have some alternate cabins here as well. This is either second class or third class, depending on how many passengers there are. So if this was for third class, this door would be locked. But if it was for second class, then it would be open, and they could go down into these cabins here. Yes, they are a little bit nicer than your regular third class cabins, that's for sure. Behind this we have exclusive third class. And this is where the staircase ends. This is the lowest deck that passengers were, where their cabins were, I should say. Did you show the mailroom? Yes, I did. That concludes our G deck tour. Let's move on to Orlop deck, the second lowest deck on the ship. So once again we start with one of these stores, chain locker. We get to the number 1 cargo hold, one of them at least. There's another one here and another one here. So they were all named number 1. Basically they were in rows. So when we move back we are here. When we move back we get to the second one, cargo hold number 2. And that is the same in this one, this big one. Yeah, this is a lot of cargo here. Basically, essentially. We have first and second class baggage in here. Leads from this room here down here. Actually go through here, and into here we have a special room, which was basically where they put valuables and stuff. Valuable cargo. This is the bags of mail. I try to represent that with the banners here. Here we have parcel. We have yes, another cord that leads to first and second class baggage again. And another hoist here that could take the mail upstairs if it was needed. Up here was the mailroom again, of course. I showed that already. We'll check them out later, Brandon. Yes. I think this is pretty much it when it comes to Orlop deck in the front. We need to go back a bit to the food storage. It was an Orlop deck. We can begin with showing the staircase. It's down here. We have wine and spirits. We have chocolate and postcards. Very strange to have both of them. We have dried fruit in here. We have champagne, groceries, mineral water, steward provision stores, tobacco and cigars, beef and cargo hatch number 4. Flying room in here. We have eastbound beef and westbound beef. Yes, the one and only Cultureman. We have empties. This is where they stored the empty glass bottles and stuff like that. In here we have the refrigerated cargo holds. This is number 5, actually. There's another one on the other side. Here. After this, we have another cargo hold. This is number 6, I think. Yes. And behind this is just an escape locker. And there's even a water tank. So yeah, that is Orlop deck. Now it's finally time to check out the engine rooms and the boiler rooms and all that cool stuff. So let's begin up here on C deck. We actually want to go here. There we go. From this space we get to these spiral staircases. We go all the way down to the tank top deck, which was the lowest deck that you could get on the Titanic, and basically on any ship. Here we go. This is one of these escape tunnels, which was used by the firemen to get to the boiler rooms. We have this here. We can actually access the number 3 cargo hold. On this side it was actually used for coal, reserve coal in case it was needed. Yeah, we have number, which one was this? Number 1, I think. Number 1 cargo, no, sorry, number 6 cargo hold. Boiler room, I mean. Number 6 boiler room. There were 4 of them in here, but they were all of them double-ended. I guess you can see here. Yes, we have some coal here. On both sides we have the coal bunkers, so they could get coal directly to shuffle inside. We can actually go up the stairs, not stairs, the ladders here. We can get a nicer view over the boilers. There's not much to see because they are so big and they take up so much of the room. Can actually move up here even further. Here we go. So yeah, this is where you would escape if it was an accident that happened. You can actually move up to Scotland Road here. But if you wanted to, you could even go all the way up to the boat deck if you wanted. Through this fiddly space here, I think it's called. All the way up. Imagine that there's a thing here that you can open, so you can get up here to the funnel. But now we're going to go down again toward the other rooms. They were pretty much all the same, so I'm just going to quickly move through them. Boiler room number 5. It's a little bit larger. There were 5 boilers in this one. All of them double-ended. You can get up here, I think. Yes, here we go. Was much larger in size. Also get up here the same way as you would on the first one. For all of these you could actually get up very easily. Yeah, same thing here. Fix that. You see, all of these rooms had a watertight door that separated each of them in case of flooding. Boiler room number 2? Yes, number 2. And number 1. These boilers were... No, sorry. This is number 2. That was number 3. This one is number 1. These ones were not really used that much. In general, they were mainly auxiliary boilers. In case of the bow got flooded, they would turn these on to provide the power for the ship. And the interesting thing about these ones is that they only had one side, that you couldn't put coal in on the other side like the other boilers. Yeah, that's what's unique with this one. Also had the same color as the funnels actually. So that's that. Yeah, like I said, you could get up here the same way. Let's get down here somehow. Then we're gonna go into the engine rooms. So beginning with the reciprocating engine room, which was where the 2 outer propellers were driven from. Yeah, this is very large, very complex, very hard to get right. I don't think I did get everything right. But yeah, I'm not going to attempt it more because it's very hard, very tedious. I don't like doing it that much. So yeah, this is my attempt at doing it. Yeah, so it's basically full with lots of different machinery, lots of pumps, lots of cylinders and motors and engines and stuff. Yeah, these were the massive reciprocating engines that, like I said, they drove the out 2 propellers. And they had these massive cylinders here that were driven here. You can actually go up through these stairs, not these ladders. You had some small walkways in here so you could inspect the engines between each of them. And we move up more, we get to... Yeah, we can actually look over them. These are the tops of them, of the engines. You have a lot of piping in the ceiling. You have some cranes here even. And if you move up here, you can actually get to all the way up even. Similar to the boiler rooms, I can actually fly up. This deck house here. The reciprocating engine room casing, as it's called. So yeah, that's that. Let's move on to the turbine engine room, which is the engine room that drove the center propeller. Basically, it used the leftover fumes from the reciprocating engines to create power for the middle one. So yeah, this is the main turbine here, and these massive things on each side are the condensers. And we have a condenser discharge port here that leads out on each side. All the water that gets left over, they force out there. We have another casing here that leads all the way up. We have a electric store. And some auxiliary engines are supposed to be there. I'm gonna add them in later. Reserve oil tanks. We have, yeah, the aft funnel, the fore funnel. It goes up into that one. So yeah, that is that. Move back, we get to the electric engine room. This is where power on the ship was created, and yeah, it's not much to speak of. There were 4 identical engines, one there, one there, one there, and one there, and they each generated power. You can actually get up here as well, all the way up there. We have a switchboard room here, which is basically where you could control the power on the ship. So yeah, you can see the propeller shafts here as well. These were the outer ones, this is the middle one. Moving in here, we have 2 backup engines in case it was needed. And here we just have a propeller shaft room. And in here. And in here. And that is finally it. We have finished the tour of the RMS Titanic officially. We must get some higher render distance here so you can see the entire ship. Here we go. Zoom in here. So yeah, that's the Titanic. Finally done, almost. I still need to fix a few rooms. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this stream. I'm going to be ending it right here. It's very late for me. I need to get up fairly early tomorrow. And we are going to very soon be starting work on the Olympic, which we are going to be converting from this build here. Titanic's sister ship. And yeah, probably, or maybe, streaming tomorrow. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun touring the ship with you guys. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow probably then. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.